Before begin our debate, let us introduce our participants. On my left, Sally, and on my right, Viola. And I got two sophomores around here, and I feel really pleased. I'm a senior this year, and I'm going to introduce the problem in our debate. What we are going to discuss right now is the low birth rate problem in our society, and it's significantly critical as it grows day by day, and it's being discussed online and offline, in and out of the country, but the government has not proposed any specific policies towards this problem. And compared to Hurricane Katrina, it's like problem growing from small to like big size problem, but like Hurricane Katrina, they couldn't respond to that natural disaster quickly, so there comes immense consequences of natural disaster, so as this problem goes. I would like to introduce Sally, and she's going to Viola is going to introduce first about the proofs that the problem exists in our society.
Okay, let me see this chart. If you look at this graph, the nation's birth rate has continued to fall over and hit the lowest level of 1.16 in 2004, according to the National Statistical Office Population Report. Compared with the other countries, it is the lowest level, so we can find out how serious the problem is.
And we move on to Sally.
Yes, there is more evidence. According to the statistics, the number of elementary school students has decreased 17% because of the low birth rate. And the total number of school-age children has decreased also. It is a very serious problem these days.
Yeah, I do agree with Viola and Sally, because we need students for schools, and schools need students, and unless there are no students, then schools cannot exist anymore. And there's proper education from elementary to high school and university, and unless there are no enough numbers for elementary school, it's going to be devastating for society. And we move on to what kind of causes are in this problem. And Viola, can you say just more?
I think Sally will
Sally is going to take his first opinion. And
first of all, the most important reason of the birth rate is that women's thoughts about family has been changed, and high educated women who pursue their career life has increased. These days, we can see easily that women participate in society very actively for their self-development. In spite of this situation, people still think that childbirth and child care are women's work, and in the past, the government didn't support any financial support for women to child rearing. So women are forced to choose between work and child rearing.
Yes, and besides what Sally said, there are several reasons for this problem. Firstly, look at this chart. It is done by them, and more than 60% of people said that they don't have baby because of the financial burden. So the financial burden is one of the most serious problem of this, one of the most important causes of this problem. So as you know, it costs a lot when parents have a baby because they have to feed them and educate them. And secondly, there aren't enough nurseries around the working women. Among the nurseries, there are only 16% of nurseries, especially which is supported by government in Korea. And the percentage of amount of money for nurture, especially supported by government, is only 22% in Korea. It is very low if we compare with the other countries, such as Sweden, they support 83%, and Japan, 53%, and America, they support 41%.
Gosh, it's really serious, right? And we have to focus on the number of people who are giving birth to a baby, and the number of women who are highly educated, they are becoming more independent, and in fact, they are economically independent and they need no babies. And that's the main reality. I'd like to introduce Sally.
Yes.
And she's going to explain about the possible effects of this problem.
If the current trend of the low birth rate is to continue, in 2019, the population growth is becoming to stop and afterwards drop. Look at this graph. Like this graph, many experts expect that the birth rate is many experts expect that Korea will become an aged society in 2019, and with the ages 65 or over, people's rate increasing till more 14%. Besides, look at this graph. The labor shortage is becoming more serious problem too. The productive population will begin falling right after 2010, and then Korea will face a reduced workplace, and the productive capability may weaken.
Oh, yes.
Viola, can you come up with any other ideas other than that?
Oh, yes. Moreover, if we enter the aged society, because there will be more old people around us, we need to spend more money on social security. The cost of social security will be increased, and it will become another burden of society. We need more money to spend on pension or medical insurance or care for the aging.
Yeah, that's about it. And we can just increase taxes to just pay more pensions, and we cannot just use incentives or compulsion to let other people increase the rate of private savings. And the main thing is we have to realize that there are threats that longer lifespan and aging population would lead to a critical problem in our society. And then we move on to possible solutions that we can lay out, and Sally is going to speak on this.
We can consider the government campaign, because constant advertising by mass media and can make people change their thoughts about family. In the past, we could see many cases like that. Look at this poster. The slogan, "Two children are also too many," encourages people not to have many children. These days, however, I think that many citizens are not likely to be led by government easily.
Yeah, that's right.
However, that's right. However, in my opinion, the government needs to pay attention on current situation rather than trying to change the people's thoughts. So, considering the people's thoughts, we need to spend more money to building more nurseries. As I said before, there aren't enough nurseries around the working women. So if there are enough nurseries around the working women so that the women can both work and bring up the children, then they might think that, oh, it's okay to have a baby. And it will help to increase the birth rate of Korea. Yes.
Do you agree here?
However, there is another possible solution. It's that the government is adopting a childbirth credit system. If it is realized, the family it has the third baby or more can receive the government subsidy to assist their childbirth rate, birth or education and medical costs.
Yeah, it's just like procreation campaign. As you
For instance, in France's family law, it mentioned that government should support birth, education, and employment of children, and it was a very effective way to promote childbirth.
Okay, I see, but it sounds such a short-term solution. So I think when we think about it, the government can attract the people's attention for a while, but how many women will give a birth to third baby just to get the money from the government? And it will cost a lot, so how long will the government can support this plan? So therefore, I think it's better to spend more money to build nurseries so that we can establish the foundation, the basic facilities for child care. It also costs a lot, but it's a long-term solution, so it will work at the end.
Some people might say, like you, that this solution is the short-term one, but I think that short-term solutions are also necessary to boost people's awareness of problem of low birth rate and to promote childbirth rate. And your solution, you suggest that your nursery building, building nurseries. I think nursery buildings also has problem. It cannot make close and tight relationships of the family.
Okay, that's about it, and I would like to summarize our debates. And I think as a group leader, I would like to suggest that we need the government and NGOs and all people in Korean society, including men and women, especially men. Especially men should be aware of childbirth and childcare, and all those three factors should combine as one unity, and they have to help families and individuals to choose the number of their children by presenting them with economic consequences of their choices. And I have two questions raised to you, and these are: should we not consider the marriage policies that might reverse the present fertility trend? And the second question is: should we not consider major rewards for those who invest in a new generation? And that kind of wraps up our debate. Thank you for listening.
All right, 13 minutes and 25 seconds. All right.